amigos, welcome one, welcome all. It is time for another exciting edition of, you guessed it, the show with no name. Now hold on, cause it's time for
T-minus 10,
liftoff.
9, 8,
Let's go.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Come
3,
on.
2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Yes.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio. Yes. All aboard, folks. All aboard.
Let's go.
Welcome, show with no namers from all around the world. It's great to have you on board learning, laughing, and playing with all of us. Whether it be Fitz in his program, No Excuses, or maybe you want to listen to the Pro Bow show first thing in the morning to get you going. Ponerte en marcha. The best way to make sure you never miss any of our programs is tuning in to the Vaughn Radio app. You can also catch our programs wherever you get your podcasts. So you have no excuses, folks. If learning English and having fun is what you want to do, well, you came to the right place. And the best part? It's free. Yeah. Well, you need an internet connection, right? Nothing's really free, but it's free. You can learn English with us for free every day. We also have other initiatives, as you know. We've got something for the whole family. In our Disney Vaughn English on the weekends, we've got Masters for the parents, Vaughn Town for the adventurer. We've got online courses, a little bit of everything. So whatever your needs may be, whatever your budget, presupuesto, that's important too. Whatever your needs may be, whatever your budget may be, we've got you covered. Just go to grupovaughn.com. It's grupovaughn.com, and you can find out all the information you need. Another easy way to make sure you're in the know is, of course, by following us on social media. All right, my amigos, let's get going because we've got tons of stuff to do. It's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? That's right, folks. It's your Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. Yep. And this is where we hear, well, a famous person speaking, and you guys have to break down this glosario. You have to break down what this person is saying. And of course, I want you to use your best English. So, amigos, as always, have some fun with us. If you can do the challenges on every show, excellent. If you can do them aloud, en voz alta, oh man, you are ahead of the game, como decimos. Ahead of the game, vamos, que vas con ventaja. I think would be the best translation there. You are leaps and bounds ahead of the game. Siglos, años luz, you could say. Already looking at a lot of idiomatic expressions here on the show with no name. And there are many more where those came from. So a good thing you can do too in the show is have a notebook. Because we go over a lot of different concepts, a lot of different ideas, things you might want to take note. And I know you're thinking, well, I take a mental note. Yeah, I know, but sometimes we forget those. Take it from me. Also, folks, I'd like to urge you to participate in our question of the week. If you'd like to participate, like Born to Iron Man, Cristina Chicago, Chris Valrol, and Nuria, they have already participated, so we're very eager to hear from them on Thursday's show. Don't forget, we have moved that section from Fridays to Thursdays for now, for the time being. So that only affects you and the fact that you have to send it to us a little bit before. But also, I give it to you the week before too. So you usually have the weekend. In fact, do I have the next one figured out? Let me check my calendar over here. Calendar, here we go. Okay, yes. So, Born to Iron Man, Cristina Chicago, Chris Valrol, and Nuria, you can start thinking about next week's question of the week. And next week's is, how do you try to inspire others? Okay, ¿cómo intentas inspirar a los demás, a otra gente? So that is next week's question of the week. How do you try to inspire others by your actions, by your words, both? I think it's a great question, and I'm looking forward to getting a lot of inspiration from all of you, as we do every week. So this week's, though, if you haven't participated yet, that one is, what's your motto? ¿Cuál es tu eslogan de vida? And you can send that to me. You can record it on your phone, and then you can send it over to aalonso@grupovon.com. Again, it's aalonso@grupovon.com. Also, if you have any suggestions for homophones or double troubles, which we've seen from many of our students, and by the way, great job. Thanks to all of you who collaborate. It's always a nice opportunity to give you a shout out as well, and well, for you to review something that you've learned by sharing it with your fellow students. I couldn't think of a better way to review something. So if you'd like to send ideas or participate in our question of the week, or both, well, you can send all that stuff to Alonso, sin tilde, sin guión, sin nada. It's Alonso, dos A's, Alonso at grupovon.com. And many of you who have sent me emails, many of you email me regularly. So that's great. Don't be a stranger here on the show, but also, if you've got ideas, we'd love to hear them. Like I said yesterday with our maybe not. Maybe, I'm sick of being sick. Estoy harto de estar enfermo. So hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of this week, I will sound like myself again. But for the time being, I'll tell you the expression I told you yesterday. It's a great one to know. Y aprovechamos todo para enseñar. and that is bear with me. Paciencia conmigo. I'll do what I can with what I have today. And as you know, I'm drinking tons of liquid. So the good thing is I'm liquid, no alcohol or anything like that. And just trying to get better ASAP. So thank you for your patience. And today I'll need your help to get through the show. As you can hear, I'm struggling already. Estoy un poco luchando hoy. But we'll do it because, as Freddie Mercury always told us, and maybe one of my mottos, the show must go on. That said, let me give you guys today's Say What soundbite. This is the first listen of today's Say What soundbite. As you know, this is a section where you guys have to, well, pay attention, see what you can extract from this little audio clip that I'm going to give you. Now, as your accent, or even if you know who it is, feel free to tell us. But really, the important thing is, how would you sum up what this person is saying? And hopefully, by the end of the show, how would you be able to give me this message word for word if you had to as well? So, as you know, we practice many, many different things aside from listening in this exercise. So, everybody, listen up. This is your Say What soundbite for the first time.
I think that every artistic effort, music or art, anybody who's participating in the peace industry is making the world better. Anybody who's participating in the war industry is making the world worse.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto. Pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido.
Eso es thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it.
You know it, folks. It is definitely our awesome This Book is the Shit. Again, I say it's awesome, not just because I wrote it, because I think, like every book I've done, I put my heart and soul into it so that you guys not only learn English, but that you have fun, that there's some humor in there. There's a bit of a spark, un poco de chispa, and so that it's not your everyday, average, run-of-the-mill English book. There are lots of those out there. And at Vaughn, well, we like to put a little something special into our materials, what we call TLC, ese toque de cariño. TLC stands for tender, loving care. Ese toquecito de cariño that I think is the secret ingredient in anything, right? It's what makes a movie, a book, a song, an experience awesome. That passion that you can feel, that underlying, que está ahí, right? No tiene que estar en superficie, but it's there. You can feel it at all times. All right, well, my amigos, that was your Say What soundbite. I don't think it's too difficult today. I mean, compared to some of the ones we have seen in the past, this is on the easier side of things. All right, well, I'll let you mull that over. Es otra forma de decir to think it over. Darle unas vueltas. And in the meantime, we can go into our next challenge, our pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
You have to follow Vaughn on social media. And if you follow Vaughn on social media, then you'll see that those courses are sometimes, I think just recently, so don't expect it now. No lo vamos a esperar para ahora. But just recently, there was a 50% discount. So stay tuned. And the best way to be the first one to find out about those special offers, discounts, upcoming events is, of course, by following along on social media. All right, we're going to listen to a little excerpt from This Book is the Shit. As always, I want you folks to listen carefully. And today we're going to be taking a look at a very useful verb. That verb is to run. And we actually looked at it yesterday when we were talking about politics, right? We said he ran for president. So es mucho más que solo correr. All right, here we go. Listen carefully and expect some challenges afterwards.
Translation test. All right, now it's your turn. Well, actually, it's your turn to participate throughout the whole episode. But now, here's where we see who's running the show. The first one. Ella corre todas las mañanas y le da 1000 vueltas a sus vecinos. Ella corre todas las mañanas y le da 1000 vueltas a sus vecinos. She runs every morning, and she runs circles around her neighbors. She runs every morning. ¿Cómo me lo preguntas? ¿Corre todas las mañanas? Does she run every morning? Yeah. ¿Y le da 1000 vueltas a sus vecinos? Does she run circles around her neighbors? Yeah. She runs circles around her neighbors. The next one, come on, easy one here. El perro corre detrás de la pelota. The dog runs after the ball. He plays fetch. Ponlo en pasado. The dog Outa. Is he running out of time? Well, then he must hurry up. No hurry, hurry, hurry. The next one.
ella se presentó a ser presidenta de su comunidad. She ran for president of her homeowners association. Un poco largo, ¿no? You can say community, I guess. She ran for president. ¿Cómo me lo preguntas? ¿Se presentó? Did she run for president? Yeah. She ran for president. Se presentó, o como dice mi padre, corrió para presidente. She ran for office. Eso es cualquier puesto. The next one. Él se fugó de casa cuando tenía 16 años. He ran away from home when he was 16. Or when he was 16 years old. Pero nunca when he was 16 years. O sea, o es el número o es entero. He ran away from home when he was 16. Ask me, did he run away from home when he was 16? Did he run away from home when he was 16? Yeah. He ran away from home when he was 16. Next one. Él fue atropellado por un camión. He was run. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. So he was run over, or he got run over, ambos con la tercera columna ahí, by a truck. Did he get run over? Was he run over? Dos formas de preguntarlo. Corremos el riesgo de no terminar a tiempo. Come on, easy one. We run the risk of not finishing on time. Okay? Of running over. We already looked at that one. To run over. Se pasó de tiempo la reunión. So these are some really, really common ones used in the workplace. The next one. Últimamente nos hemos metido en muchos problemas. Lately, we've run into trouble. Directamente. Lately, we have run into trouble. Pregúntame. Have we run into trouble lately? Yeah. We've run into trouble lately. The next one. Sus padres son muy estrictos. Él no manda. His parents or his folks, no parents, his parents or his folks run a tight ship. He doesn't run the show. So vamos a preguntarlo. ¿Sus padres son estrictos? Do his parents run a tight ship? Does he run the show? All right, last one, my amigos. Vamos a repasar de principio a fin. Remember that part. Vamos a repasar el discurso otra vez, aunque tengas diarrea. What? Bueno, es que quería enseñarte una cosita más. Let's run through the speech again. Run through or run over. Let's run through the speech again, even though you have the runs. What? Yeah, well, I wanted to give you one more meaning, and I saved it until the end over there. ¿Por qué? Porque corre por tu pie. Do I have to explain it? He has diarrhea, or, más nativo aún, he has the runs. Well, folks, I've got to run because we have officially run out of time. But I want to give you guys an amazing round of applause for your effort. Great job, amigos. All right, folks, some really good uses of that very common verb, which is run. Oh, man, it's not just a verb, it's a noun as well. Very, very useful. One of those words that, like get, it's got so many uses. So you got to know how to conjugate it. Every day I run out of time. Yesterday, te toca. I ran out of time. And lately, te toca. I've, muy importante ese, es el have. Lately, I've run. Volvemos a la primera columna, o sea, es run, ran, run. All right, folks, we'll be right back and we'll run through that. To run through it, hacer un repaso. That and much, much more. So stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Welcome, welcome. It's absolutely awesome to have you with us, laughing and learning every single day here on the show with no name. Thank you so much. And make sure you stay tuned, because after today's show, you can continue to learn with Ale. Ale is awesome. She is totally awesome, and she'll guide you through the English language like nobody. She's done it. I got to tell you something. She's done it with her own daughters, and they speak English beautifully. So that'll just give you an idea of what she can do to help you with your English. That is Ale, and her program is right after this program every day. Be sure to stay tuned so you can learn with Ale and all the rest of my buddies. Yeah, lots of great friends here. Friends who I get together with, even when we're not working. We're that kind of crew. Ese tipo de equipazo, ¿no? Porque hasta cuando no hay que vernos, nos vemos. It's true. That's a blessing. Vamos, una bendición, if I've ever heard one. Hallelujah. That you love the people you work with. It doesn't always happen that way. But luckily here at Vaughn Radio, we love what we do. We love each other as people, and we love you guys. I don't want to sound corny, ñoño, but it's true. There's a lot of love going around here, as well as English. Además de inglés. And we thank you as well for trusting us with your English. You know, we'll never lead you down the wrong path. Por un camino equivocado. We're always going to lead you down the right path, teaching you the English you need to get by. Salir del paso, apañarte. So thank you so much on behalf of all of us. En nombre de todos nosotros aquí en Vaughan Radio. All right, let me give you guys the pop quiz stuff. This way you can start working on that, and then we'll get into the Say What soundbite observations. I see we've got a lot of students who are here with us observing. All right, observing and some participating. All right, the first one is really tough. Este se lleva un totally native. Okay, quiero que me digas, sus padres son muy estrictos. Okay? Now, I don't want you to say they're very strict. That's fine. It's correct. But all of these have something in common. They all have the word run, right? We were taking a look at the word run. So all three of these translations will have the word run in them somewhere. Okay? But yes, you can say his folks, his parents. Lo que no voy a permitir es his parents. It's not parents, parents. Pero si te cuesta, puedes decir folks. La L es muda. Okay, so his folks are very strict. Great. Okay. But there was a totally native expression there. And let's see if you know it. Okay. The next one is dar evasivas. I know we've looked at this one before too. When somebody is asking you questions and you're being evasive, se dice lo mismo, ¿no? Dar evasivas. To be evasive. But we're looking at a more totally native way of saying it, a way that has the word run in it somewhere. All right. So that is number 2 in today's pop quiz. And the last one, and I want you to give me, this one's pretty specific, but I think it's a funny one. ¿Cuándo fue la última vez que tuviste diarrea? Don't tell me that. Quiero que formules la pregunta. All right? That's what we're looking for here. Porque hay dos formas de decir cuándo fue la última vez que. So I figured aside from looking at another way of saying diarrhea, which is a funny word. It's not funny when you have it, but it is a funny word. Well, I thought also we could look at that structure, esta interrogación, que es cuándo fue la última vez que. All right? Otra vez, dos formas que se me ocurren que se pueden usar. Usa la que quieras. The idea is to use it correctly. Either way, we will take a look at both versions, okay? So, number 1, sus padres son muy estrictos. Number 2, usa dar evasivas en alguna frase. Siempre puedes pensar en alguien que te ha dado evasivas o que tú le estás dando evasivas. And the last one, la pregunta, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que tuviste diarrea? Again, it's got to have the word run in it, porque eso es un poco lo que estamos mirando en este ejercicio hoy en el pop quiz. All right, so those are your pop quiz challenges. We've got the say what soundbite. Oh, yeah, I've got to give it to you for the second time. Is everybody ready? Here goes.
I think that every artistic effort, music or art or films or any of, well, even a florist, anybody who is participating in the peace industry is making the world better. Anybody who's participating in the war industry is making the world worse.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com. It's the shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit. It's available at Vaughn Tienda and wherever fine books are sold. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, we've got a lot of participation here, which is awesome. This makes me really happy. So this is a wonderful thing. And kudos to all of you, really. It's amazing to see you guys so eager, participating, and really taking an active interest in improving your English on a daily basis. I applaud you for that. I mean, again, I look at a lot of people and I see a lot of people who are not, doing that, what you guys do, making that effort. And honestly, you guys are a special breed, como decimos, a special breed. And a special breed is una raza especial. All right, let's see what we've got here. We've listened to our Say What soundbite twice. Also, the pop quiz. I've given you guys the answers, so we'll be checking that as well. Let's run through some run stuff. All right. We looked at this one before. How would you say una clase de inglés cualquiera? Otra vez, todos estos van a tener algo en común, que van a tener la palabra run. I do run, I do run. So, let's see if you know that one. I'm sure you do, because we've looked at it recently. Run of the mill. Run of the mill. That's the one we're looking for. Run of the mill. Run of the mill es lo que tira la fábrica, lo que echa la fábrica, because we said a mill es un molino. Las antiguas fábricas eran molinos, no? So if you think about it, it does make sense. So no es nada especial. Run of the mill. All right. What about, we looked at quedarse sin. How would you say, me estoy quedando sin leche? I'm running out of milk. Okay? I'm running out of milk. What about, ¿quién lleva la voz cantante por aquí? Who runs the show? Who runs the show? Or who calls the shots? What about ella va a huir? She's gonna, or she's going to, si prefieres, she's gonna run away. Sound familiar from a song? Run away from the pain, yeah. Janie's got a gun. Aerosmith, right? So run away. What about, topé con una amiga ayer en el centro comercial. I ran into a friend yesterday. I bumped into, I came across. You got 3 different ways to say that one. I'm sure we've looked at all of them here, right? We looked at this yesterday. You should definitely know this one. How would you say, él se presentó a presidente? He ran for president. He ran for president. Okay? What about, here's one. This is a good adjective. How would you say, esto es una discoteca abandonada, destrozada, dejado en, ¿no? Que le falta reparación. Run down, right? When something is run down, it is in desperate need of repair. It is in a bad situation. We also looked at to run circles around someone. Okay? If you run circles, piénsalo, estás dando mil vueltas. It kind of is the same thing. Man, they ran circles against the away team. No, les dieron mil vueltas al equipo visitante. Okay? To run your mouth. To run your mouth is to talk too much without thinking. You know when it's like, you know what? Stop running your mouth. Maybe you've had a little too much to drink, for example. And then we've got it in songs over here. We've got running down a dream, working on a mystery, going wherever it leads. Tom Petty, great song. Got Runaway by Bon Jovi. She's a little runaway. And even in movies, one of the most famous movie lines ever. Run, Forrest, run. Right? These are, I mean, come on, you know the word, but did you know it had so many meanings? All right, well, those are just some of the ones I wanted to go over. Why don't we go over here to our virtual classroom and we'll see what you guys had to say about this verb to run. Let's see who's with us. There's Elena. Elena, thank you very much for your contributions yesterday. We learned to show someone up thanks to you, right? So to show up somewhere, presentarte en algún sitio. To show someone up, make them look bad or make it look like, they make them look unprofessional, not good at all. So Elena, thank you very much for sharing that with us. And she says, good morning, teacher. Hope you're feeling a little better today. Yeah, again, the problem is I'm just fed up. I'm like, ya está bien. So thank you. And she says, although I can hear you're still stuffed up. Yeah, believe me. And it's not because, I haven't blown my nose recently. I've been blowing my nose for the last 72 hours, non-stop. Hot showers, tea, and this is the result. So, man, thank you so much. Elena, and great to have you on board. She says, thanks for not skipping the show today. Well, that's the thing. I'm not feverish. No estoy febril. I don't have body aches. I just wish I could fucking hear and talk right. It's just annoying. Es más que nada pesadez. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, poor thing. Thank God our teach is young and strong. Well, thank you. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Chris. I appreciate it. Let's see. Elena says, referring to our Say What soundbite, she says it's an excerpt from an interview in which a woman who I'd argue sounds Asian talks about how people in different industries influence making the world better or worse. Absolutely. And guess what? She's Asian. Now, cuidado, porque no sabes las veces que he oído gente decir Asia, Asian. No, it's Asia. Asian, right? Asia, Asian. That's the ones we would use. Asia, Asian, but not Asia. ASEAN. I get it, porque en español es Asia. But in English, you're going to Asia, and people from Asia are Asian. So yes, Elena, wow, really good ear and spot on with your summary. Great. Let's see. Chris Valrol, she's got something to say regarding our Say What soundbite as well. And she says, I heard a non-English speaker. She says art makes the world a better place. Yeah, a non-native speaker. She speaks, but she isn't from the United States. Although, if I'm not mistaken, she's lived there her whole life. Yeah, in the United States. So, but she's not originally from there. Nope. She should be a native speaker by now. Ya le vale. Tanto tiempo ahí. All right, let's see. Anything else that has to do with the Say What soundbite? All right, well, let's move on to our pop quiz, and we'll see who's going to run the show today. Llevar la voz cantante. All right, Born to Iron Man. He's ready to rock and roll. I love it. I applaud your eagerness, amigos. All right, he says his or her parents, da igual, right? You can use either one. Creo que en español, sus es igual, right? Y también puede ser their, ¿no? En español, sus padres, de ellos, también. So, his, her, or their parents run a very tight ship. Absolutely. So, run, we know now, means to manage, ¿no? Dirigir, manejar. And who runs a ship? Una nave. The captain, right? El comandante. The captain runs a ship. So if you run a tight ship, pues luce suelto. Bueno, que las cosas pasan porque pasen y bueno, ya veremos. But tight es rígido. So if you think about it, lleva una nave rígida. Quiere decir, cuando estás en su nave, las reglas son muy claras. Okay, so if you think about it that way, that it has to do, I imagine, I didn't look this up, no he buscado la etimología, pero, putting two and two together, atando cabos aquí, seems right. He runs a very tight ship. O sea, no es muy permisivo. He's not very lenient. They aren't, I should say, sus padres. All right, great. The first one, so far, so good, buddy. The next one. She keeps running away from the situation. All right. To run away, esquivar, huir. I like it. Okay. To run away from the situation. It wasn't the one I was looking at, but it works. Funciona. Nos vale. But I was looking for another one. I'll give you a clue, especially you, Born to Iron Man. I know you're a rocker. Van Halen tiene una canción donde lo dice vez tras vez tras vez. Esta expresión. Y es un temazo. So, as always, we're learning with music here on the show. I'll leave it to you. Te lo dejo. All right? I think you'll get it. So, to run away from the question. Great. Also, to dodge, esquivar. Sabemos como la marca de coche, Dodge. And the last one, he says, when was the last time you had the runs? If it's a question, we got to put a question mark, not a period. But yes, kinda. Right? So when was the last time you had the runs? Es una pregunta, le ponemos al final a little question mark y perfecto. So when was the last time you had the runs? The runs, yeah, porque corre por la... Yeah. You want me to explain it? I will. I think everybody can figure out why we call diarrhea the runs. Well, however you slice it or dice it, it's not something fun to talk about. But I thought you might want to know that vocabulary. But hey, you never know when you'll have to use it. As we say, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And especially if you've got that problem. That's like, oh God. I mean, we've seen it depicted in movies a million times, and it's happened to all of us. Nobody wants to get the runs, especially when you're far from home. You know, you're out for the day and you're like, oh boy. So great. Okay, let's see. Born to Iron Man says, pardon my French. What impoliteness, sin el an. Bueno, pardon my French es cuando dices una palabrota. So ahí no diríamos pardon my French. Pardon me. Pardon me. What an impoliteness. Mejor, how impolite. Lo más nativo ahí. Pardon me. How impolite. First thing to say. First things first, como decimos. Lo primero. Good morning, friends. Good morning to you, Born to Iron Man. Even though you didn't say it, I knew you meant it. All right, let's see. We've got Elena here as well. And she says, her folks really run a tight ship, don't they? Excellent. The next one. I hope you don't give me the runaround this time. Esa es la que buscaba. You're giving me the run around. She's giving me the run around. It's an awesome song. Van Halen, check it out. To give someone, la estructura ahí es muy importante. She gave me the runaround. Me dio evasivas. Excellent. And the last one, she says, you know you have a runny tummy. I know you have a runny tummy. Are you feeling better? Great. I've never heard it, but it's cute. Makes sense. Because that would be a good way to say it with kids, right? To have a runny tummy. La tummy es tu barriga. And runny, well, we just explained that meaning of run. So excellent job to have the runs, to have a runny tummy, to give someone the runaround, to run a tight ship means that you are not very permissive, okay? You're not very lenient, as we say. También lenient is a word that means permisivo. Buenísimo este adjetivo. We use it when we talk about teachers. Oh, he's really strict. she's really lenient, right? Elena says her parents runs a taut ship. Ahora, yo nunca lo he oído con taut. Okay, pero no digo que no, Chris? Let's see. I'm going to Google it and just let Google do its thing. A taut ship is actually, well, yeah. To run a taut or a taut, absolutely. Excellent job. The only problem, Chris, her parents, esos son they. Y runs is it, he, or she. No? So her parents run a taut ship. Taut and tight mean the same. Okay? I've always said it with tight, but I just looked it up. Some people use it with taut. T-A-U-T. Great one. The next one. He run away from the question. Nope. Chris, we got to take a look at that verb conjugation here today. He ran away or he runs away normally, right? Pero no podemos decir he run away from the question. Or lately he's run, pero es justo ese formato, no nos vale. So I don't know which one. Maybe you wanted to say it in the past. He ran away from the question. The one, as I said, we were looking for is he gave me the runaround. I asked him 3 times and he gave me the runaround. And the last one, when was the last time you had the runs? And she asked it the same way as Born to Iron Man. Well, another way you can say it is, when did you last? So, ready? When did you last go to the bank? Or when was the last time you went to the bank? So, again, when did you last go? When was the last time you went? Dos formas de preguntar cuándo fue la última vez. Folks, we'll be right back with much more. So, stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is the second half of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. You know it. Learning, laughing, playing with our amigos here. And don't forget to stay tuned and learn English with all my amigos here on Vaughn Radio. Rob Grams, Ale, Jules, Fitz, Kyle, Dave, Chris, Richard, Jessica, and did I say everybody? Oh, and Ruby, of course. And jot it down, folks. I can't believe it's officially around the corner. I felt like we just had the last one. Time really does fly. Also, February's a short month, but only 2 days shorter than an average month. So, mark your calendars. It is March 3rd, el 3 de marzo, March 3rd. And it is the next Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's hosted by Chris Frank, the host of Frankly Speaking, and one hell of a guy, un tiparraco. That's how I would translate that. One hell of a guy. All right, folks. We're going to kick things off with a little challenge where we look at words that sometimes throw my students off. It's called Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 The show
Common mistake. Work like, work as. My students often say, I work like a manager. If it's your position, the correct form is, I work as a manager. Work like describes behavior. For example, I work like a slave. Work as describes your role. For example, I work as an engineer, or she works as a consultant. These distinctions are crucial in interviews and are exactly the kind of details we train in the Executive Master at Grupo Baugan.
That's right, folks. Find out more about our master's program. Well, only if you want to master English. It is the Vaughn Master, and you could get more information at our website, which is grupovaughn.com. All right, we've got a lot to cover, so let me give you the homophones, and we'll see if you recognize today's words, and then you tell me if the words sound exactly the same or not. Now, the first word is, it's got a couple different meanings. Anillo is one of them. So si sabes Señor de los Anillos, ya tienes ventaja. It's also tañido. So the sound of a bell, ¿no? El sonido de una campana. Ring, 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 right? It's also a circular shape. It doesn't have to be un anillo. Puede ser algo circular, right? El escenario es un anillo. So that kind of anillo as well. And it's also cuadrilátero. Es sonar el teléfono, sonar una campana. Again, really, really. Pista, cuadrilátero. Wow. Yeah. Let's just put it this way. The thing has a lot of meanings. I am scrolling down, and it just keeps going. But those are some of the primary meanings of our first word. And the second word is to twist. To twist. Okay, you say retorcer, escurrir, estrujar. Okay? So retorcer, escurrir, estrujar. Another way of saying that in English is to twist something. That is the second word. The first one is anillo, cuadrilátero, tañido. I didn't know that word, tañido. Círculo, anillo, in that way as well. Repicar. So again, it's a word I think most of you are familiar with. But the question is, do you know how to pronounce it? And does it sound exactly like that second word as well? Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you for the third time, and hopefully somebody will be able to make some sense of it.
I think that every artistic effort, music or art or films or even a florist, anybody who is participating in the peace industry is making the world better. Anybody who's participating in the war industry is making the world worse.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, folks. If you want more information about Vaughntown, you can get it over at grupovaughn.com. And, well, as I said, if you want more information too, you can reach out, puedes contactar con nosotros. Somebody will be more than happy to get in touch with you and give you some more information about, well, anything you might want to know about, whether it's our Disney Vaughn English Masters, open houses, free level tests, whatever your question may be. We'd love to hear from you. You can contact us however you'd like via the website where it's contact us, or you can send us a private message on social media. And well, that the good thing about that, about those private messages, is that well, somebody will get back to you really quickly and in a comfortable place, where you're like, oh, well, nobody's going to call me in the middle of the day. No, somebody will write you a message, and really say, okay, hey, when is a good time to talk, or can we organize an appointment, depending on what your question may be. But please feel free to reach out. We would love to hear from each and every one of you, amigos. All right, let's see what we've got then for our homophones. I've got a couple students participating here. Let's go on over here to the chat room. Born to Iron Maiden. He's like, I'll give you some other Run songs. Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden. Running with the Devil. There's another one with by Van Halen. Yeah, the one I was talking about was, You're Giving Me the Run Around, Around. She's giving me the run around, around. And as we said, Janie's Got a Gun. Man, it's in a lot of different songs, that word run. But again, it has so many uses. It's like the word get. You're going to see it everywhere. So get used to it. Don't run away from it. All right. Para usar ambas palabras en contexto. All right. Let's see. Elena's the first one to participate in our homophone section. And Elena says, yes, they are homophones. Okay. Chris Valrol agrees. She gives us the two words, and she says they are homophones as well. All right, so I get it. You're applying this silent W rule. Is that right? I could be wrong here. I could be right. The silent W. Well, the one in the word wreath, corona de Navidad, or the one in the word wrist, right? Or wreck, como Miley Cyrus, wrecking ball. Esa W no es, o sea, no sabría ni cómo hacer ese sonido. So you're applying that rule, huh? Well, guess what? That rule applies. Excellent. Yes. Even though that second word has a W before it, it's pronounced exactly the same as ring, anillo, ring, sonar. So now that we know it, because lo único que estamos haciendo realmente entonces es añadiendo una W para sacar esta segunda palabra, ¿no? Bien. Okay, so vamos a conjugarlos ahora. Do you know how to conjugate them? Okay. Every day the phone rings. Yesterday the phone te toca. Y la tercera columna, lately the phone, go ahead, te toca. Lately, yo digo lately, tú termínalo. Ha sonado, perdona. Digo, algo me suena raro ahí. Lately the phones, tú puedes decir the phone has, pero no hace falta, puedes contraerlo. The phones rung a lot. Lately, the phones rung a lot. Can you ask me that? ¿Ha sonado mucho últimamente el teléfono? A ver, vamos a ver. Estamos jugando con las estructuras aquí. Has the phone rung a lot lately? Has the phone rung a lot lately? Yes, the phone has rung off the hook. Buena expresión que significa sin parar, ¿no? No deja de sonar. So obviously it's the sound of a bell, the sound of a phone. We have the expression too. Something rings a bell. Hey, your face rings a bell. Have we met? ¿Nos hemos conocido? Because I could swear, juraría, I could swear that your face rings a bell. So si lo ponemos en pasado, ¿me sonó su cara? his face rang a bell. Now, just be careful because the big mistake that I've found here is a lot of students quieren ponerlo en reflexivo como en español. Me suena. Y en inglés no. El error. Muchos dicen, your face rings me a bell. Quita el me. Your face rings a bell. No es reflexivo. You can say to me, pero no hace falta. You can just say, and it would be most natural to say, your face or this situation or this smell or this sound rings a bell. All right, so that's ring, rang, rung. Are we speaking Chinese here? What language are we speaking on this show again? All right, and the next one, ring, otra vez se pronuncia exactamente igual si estamos en presente, pero ya la segunda columna es every day, every summer I wring my towels, ¿no? Le saco todo el agua de las toallas antes de ponerlas a secar. Last summer I wrung my towels, and lately I've wrung my towels. That's right. So, excellent job to all our amigos. I should say to Elena and Chris. And speaking of Elena, Elena has figured out today's Say What soundbite. Excellent job, Elena. Wow. And the word at the end, Elena, is not buoyant, no, bullante, is that how you say it in Spanish? Sino the war, la guerra, la industria de la guerra, es lo que dice. All right, hey, por si no habéis participado, un poco de, right? So I'm seeing, the rest looks okay, by the way, Elena, looks perfect. But participating in the buoyant, no, sino the war industry, la industria de la guerra, right? These are the people who make money on the blood of others. All right, there we go, my amigos. But we've got to move on. It's time for real reviews.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this?
Real reviews.
Real reviews found online.
Real reviews.
It was unbelievably painful.
Common mistake. To be, agree. Something I corrected just the other day was I am or I'm agree with you. In English, we simply say I agree with you. For example, I agree with your proposal, or I completely agree. It's a tiny change, but a very important one. These distinctions are crucial in interviews, and they're exactly the kind of details we train in Executive Master at Grupo Balkan.
That's right, amigos. It's the Executive Master at Grupo Von, and it's got everything you need to really master the language. All right, well, folks, real reviews. This is where we take a look at what people are saying on the internet when they're pissed off. The good news is people don't hold back. No se contienen. They speak for real. They speak from the heart when they feel like they've been wronged. So I figured this was a good section to look at all different things, from electronic shops to gas stations. And this way we can learn about all the vocabulary and also learn, well, how to describe an experience, in this case, a bad experience. Now, today we're going to talk about a watch repair place, like a jewelry shop / watch repair. Now, I'm already thinking maybe they do too much, right? Because you're setting diamonds in wedding rings, but you're also working on timepieces. Hey, I never know. It's not my cup of tea anyway. But I figured we could take a look at a place that looks at timepieces. What? Well, I know you know the word watch. Watch is what you wear on your wrist. Hablando de esa W muda. But also, a clock is the one on the wall, right? And what is a timepiece? Usually, this is a very formal way of saying a watch. So if you if you're this kind of person who has an hublot, you have a couple different kinds of watches, then you call them timepieces. Vamos, es una forma, una pijada para decir reloj. A timepiece, a timeless, atemporal, a timeless timepiece. Debería hacerles marketing yo a esta industria. All right, let's take a look. These people were not happy with their experience. And this woman said, my elderly father, anciano, went here to buy a necklace and a pendant. Okay, so a necklace is un collar, and a pendant es un colgante, ¿no? Algo que normalmente puedes poner algo dentro, like a locket, pero cuidado, no es un pendiente. It's a false friend, y no significa lo tenemos pendiente. Eso sería, it's pending, right? So just be careful. That's a false friend. So my elderly father went here to buy a necklace, no necklace, necklace, and it was a necklace and a pendant for my 4-year-old daughter. After going there a couple of times, he purchased a necklace that was really meant to be worn by a man, not delicate, not really meant for a little girl. Realmente no estaba hecho para una niña. You know, there are different styles. Some are more masculine and some are more feminine, lighter chain. You know, that's natural. That's the way it goes. So this woman obviously believes that they sold him whatever necklace they had, and who cares if it's for a girl or a boy? They just wanted to get rid of it. But she said, no issues up until this point. Hasta ahora no he tenido problema. He took the necklace home, showed it to us. Upon realizing what he bought, we went back into the store to exchange it for something more appropriate. Upon walking in there were a couple of girls in the store, the ready pendant that went with the necklace, and paid the engraving fee. Okay, now the fee is el cobro, el cargo for engraving. Okay, to engrave, you say, grabar, you say, no, in metal. So they took a very long time in the back room finding out prices, pone, in citando, quote unquote, finding out prices and weighing the necklaces. Everything was hidden, oculto, and out of sight, y fuera de vista. I felt very scammed and weirded out, como, esto es raro, by the fact that I couldn't see what the weight of the gold was or what they were doing for so long in the back room of the store. My 4-year-old, who was with me, was very vocal about the fact that she had to use the restroom. To be vocal es que no te callas. After spending now about $2,500, okay, $2,500 for the new necklace and pendant, they refused bathroom use to my 4-year-old daughter. No le dejaron usar el baño. After vocally saying how it was a little crazy how I had spent so much money and them not letting my little toddler use the bathroom, they all again gathered in a circle in the back room to see if they would be kind enough to let my daughter use the restroom. Wow. She says, horrible customer service. I will not be returning, and I have told my father to never step foot in this place again. Stay away. Mantenerte a raya. Mantente lejos. So yeah, wow, that stinks. Talk about a slap in the face. Can I use the bathroom? No. What? Are you kidding me? I just gave you guys 2,500 euros. I'm a paying customer. What the bird? All right, well, folks, we've got to move on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
Spelling bee.
Here we go, folks. Here we go. The first one is ROYAL space GREENWICH space OBSERVATORY. The second one is HERSTMONCEUX. The third one is RIVER space THAMES. The fourth one is PRIME space MERIDIAN. The fifth one is COORDINATED space UNIVERSAL space TIME. And the last one is GREENWICH space TIME space SIGNAL. Wow. If you got that perfectly, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't have gotten it. I'm just telling you, okay? Just telling you. All right, I'm going to have to start round two. I know I'm not giving you too much time, but we do have to keep a tight schedule. Toma, para usar otro uso de este rígido. We do have to run a tight ship and keep to a tight schedule here on the show. So this is round two. I'll slow down as much as I can. The first one is ROYAL space GREENWICH space OBSERVATORY. The second one is HERSTMONCEUX. The third one is RIVER space THAMES. The fourth one is PRIME space MERIDIAN. The fifth one is COORDINATED space UNIVERSAL space TIME. And the last one is GREENWICH space TIME space SIGNAL. Folks, we're off to our final commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hello, welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. Thank you so much for your patience with me this week. Man, I am trying to get over this fucking cold. Puto resfriado. Es que no tiene otra palabra. Hay veces que, maldito no me vale. Damn. It's not a damn cold. It's a fucking cold. Again, I don't like to be vulgar, but there's a certain time in life when it's the appropriate moment. I don't believe it's good to be walking around all day being vulgar, but it's not the same to say that's incredible than incredible. All right, amigos, we've got a lot of stuff to cover here in the fourth part of today's show. We'll be kicking things off with our double trouble. We've got our Say What soundbite. We got our spelling bee. We'll check our answers. Movies, jokes, famous birthdays, and much more. And right after today's show, you can continue to learn with our friend Ale in speaking with confidence. Don't miss her master class. Oh, yeah. Download the free Vaughn Radio app, and you can learn English with us everywhere. Learn English from the comfort of your own home, from the car, from your vacation home, wherever. As I said, there's no wrong way to learn English if you're having fun as you do it. All right, it's time for today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, folks. It is our Double Trouble section. And as you know, Double Trouble is a part of the show where we learn English with words with double meanings. We just looked at the word run earlier. We also looked at the word ring. Both of those are examples of words that have many meanings. And well, the good thing is, once you know how to conjugate it once, you can conjugate it in all its incarnations, right? So it's more a matter of taking words you already know and just giving them other meanings that they already have and that are commonly used as well. All right, so here is today's Double Trouble. You've got to use the same word twice. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. No tengo efectivo, así que voy a liquidar, cobrar, cambiar fichas. Si estás en un casino, por ejemplo. Okay? It's also sacarle tajada a algo. That second one. So that's a very rich word there. That second. It's a phrasal verb. Okay? So no tengo efectivo. No llevo efectivo. Okay? Así que voy a liquidar, is one way to say it. Cobrar, cambiar las fichas, ¿no? De un casino, o lo que viene siendo también en la expresión sacar tajada. Okay, sacarle provecho a algo. Okay, there you go. Very, very cool word. I know you know the word because you know the word efectivo, metálico. I love that you call it metálico. When somebody said, ¿tienes metálico? I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about over there. So, no tengo efectivo, así que voy a liquidar, cobrar, cambiar fichas, o también puede significar sacar tajada. You got to use the same word twice in our Double Trouble. Good luck. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the fourth time.
I think that every artistic effort, music or art or films or any of, well, even a florist, anybody who is participating in the peace industry is making the world better. Anybody who's participating in the war industry is making the world worse.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, amigos. GrupoVon.com. As you know, you can find out everything you need to know about Grupo Von, about our courses, about our materials. If you go to our website, GrupoVon.com. Also, if you're following us on social media, you'll know what we want you to know. All right, let's go on over here to our chat room. And let's see. Chris Valrol is taking a stab at today's double trouble. And she says, I don't have any cash. Muy bien. Johnny Cash, Juanito Efectivo, Metálico. I don't have any cash, so I'm going to cash out and exchange my chips. All right. This is very specifically the casino one. Ahora, este no es sacar tajada. Pero yes, to cash out is a way of saying voy a ir a por dinero y cambiar esto, my chips. We call them chips, like patatas fritas, no? All right, let's see. Elena, she says, I haven't got any cash, so I'll cash in my tokens. Great. Born to Iron Man. I don't have any cash, so I'm going to cash in some chips. All right. Well, folks, the word is to cash in. Chris, cash out nos vale. Lo único es que es menos específico, right? It's a little bit less specific because, well, basically, cashing in can be many more things. Let's put it that way. So, si yo quiero decir, tienes que sacarle tajada a tus redes sociales. You have to cash in on your social media, okay? So, los chips, todos habéis puesto chips o tokens. Está bien, pero ahí ya te limitas a decir en un casino, okay? Viene de lo mismo, al final la expresión es igual. So, to cash in means to exchange your money, your chips for money. But also to cash in, hey, finally, guys, I finally cashed in. Por fin pude sacarle tajada, sacar provecho de ello. As I said, the way they gave it to me here, cash in, a ver cómo lo puse yo, to cash in. Liquidar, guys, I just cashed in. I sold lo que sea. All right, so liquidar, cobrar. En ese caso, no decimos chips. It's just to cash in. Si ponemos sacarle tajada a tal cosa, ahí ya nos tenemos que poner otro on al final. So, I see you're really cashing in on your success. Estás sacándole tajada, provecho, a tu éxito. All right, great, guys. I don't have any cash, so I'm going to cash in, all right? Or to cash in on lo que sea, right? On the success, on my evening, whatever it may be. Cuando ponemos lo que le estamos sacando tajada, no te olvides de ese on después de cash in. Lo digo porque es un poco raro, to cash in on, in on. It's a difficult structure to know, and you either know it or you don't. So excellent job to our show with no namers, Chris Valrol, Elena, Born to Iron Man. Let's take a look at our spelling bee words as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some winners there too. Please give it up for Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol. Our spelling bee champions knocking it out of the park. All right, well, folks, today's, if you didn't get it, what all these words had in common was today in 1924. That's right. In 1924, the Royal Greenwich Observatory began broadcasting, emitiendo, the hourly time signals known as the Greenwich Time Signal. Now, fijaos, he dicho Greenwich. Ahora, en un mundo lógico, debería ser Greenwich, pero no lo es. Pero lo mismo en Manhattan. Tenemos The Village, una zona súper chula de Manhattan, en Nueva York. Pero todos dicen Greenwich. Otra vez lo entiendo, porque si lo ves, dices, eso es green y eso es witch. No, Greenwich. O sea, ni decimos la W. Vamos a decirlo todo juntos. Greenwich. De hecho, en Nueva York no tienes que ni decir eso. Dices, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the village? Ya está. It's the village over there. But it comes from Greenwich Village, which obviously came from England, like many of the things we've passed down. So number one was the Royal Greenwich Observatory. I should say it in my British accent. The next one I can't even pronounce. Hurstmonceux. Hurstmonceux is basically a district in East Sussex, and this is where they get the time from. It starts there and goes to the River Thames. You say Támesis? Now, fíjate, cuando yo era un chaval, siendo americano, I called it the River Thames, but it's not. Okay. Otro que lo ves y dices, ¿qué? ¿De dónde sacas Thames? Ahí. ¿Por qué has puesto una H si es Thames? So yes, it took me a while to learn that one because I remember seeing it as a child and saying, "Oh, the Thames, the Thames." No, the Thames. You say Támesis? Is that how you say it in Spanish? The famous River Thames. So just so you know, es más como T-E-M-S, como se pronuncia en inglés. The next one is Prime Meridian. The fifth one, these were long words, by the way, so great job. The fifth one was Coordinated Universal Time. And the sixth one was Greenwich Time Signal. So excellent job. Hey, we were looking at timepieces and necklaces and pendants and jewelry and all that jazz. But right now, you know where we're going? We're going to the movies. Name that movie.
Expression, an upward or a downward trend. This week we were describing graphs in English. Professionals don't just say sales go up, they say there's an upward trend. For example, there's an upward trend in sales this quarter, or we're seeing a downward trend in profits. These expressions are essential for clear business communication. Understanding this helps professionals prepare better and feel more confident. Exactly what we work on in the Executive Master.
That's right, the Executive Master. All right, my amigos, the Executive Master is awesome. I know, I can tell you right now, 5 Vaughn teachers that work on the Masters. And I've got to tell you something right now. They are 5 of the greatest teachers we have at Vaughn. And the bar is set very high, as many of you know. All right, let's see what we've got over here for today's movie. I freaking love this movie. Yeah. In fact, I remember even seeing it in Spanish. I loved it so much that I remember when it was playing in Spain one summer at the Cine de Verano in Almería, I went to go see it. And I was like, I don't care if it's dubbed. Me da igual que está doblado. I love the movie. And I enjoyed it, even dubbed. All right, so here we go. Framed by their ruthless arch nemesis, a pair of mismatched LAPD officers must put their differences aside to get even with the brutal crime baron who sent them to rot in a maximum security prison. Yep. So that stinks. They were framed. They made them look guilty, right? We know it from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Lo hemos visto muchas veces. Tender una trampa, ¿no? Hacer que alguien, pintarles como el culpable, right? So framed by their ruthless is despiadado, ruthless arch nemesis, a pair of mismatched, variopinto, como que no hacen juego estos dos, a pair of mismatched LAPD officers, policías, LAPD is Los Angeles Police Department, must put their differences aside to get even, okay, ajustar las cuentas, to exact revenge, to get even with the brutal crime baron. We looked at the word baron, barón, right? The brutal crime baron who sent them to rot, pudrir, in a maximum security prison. Does it sound familiar? All right, let's take a look at the scene. All right, we're in the courtroom, and this guy says, I won't tell you his name because then I'm telling you the name of the movie. Your Honor, Your Honor. That's what you say to a judge. Your Honor, I've been a policeman for 12 years, and I think it's the best organization in the country. At times, I've been accused of being too aggressive at taking criminals off the streets. Well, if that's a sin, pecado, I guess I'm guilty. All the cops I've worked with are good cops. Then he turns to them, se dirige a ellos, you are. You're doing a tough job, and I only hope that the outcome, desenlace, of this trial is such that the whole department is not judged by what has transpired here. Thank you. So, very professional there. And then the judge says, do you have anything to add, Mr. Cash? Como nadie lo sabe, voy metiendo los nombres. Señor Efectivo, do you have anything to add, Mr. Cash? And he snickers, like a snickers, like a sarcastic laugh. And he goes, yeah. And Ray Tango, that's the other character who was speaking, says, no, por favor, no hables. And Gabriel Cash says, oh, yeah. And Ray Tango says, no. And Gabriel Cash says, yeah. And Ray Tango says, no. And then finally he stands up and he addresses the judge, se dirige al juez. And he says, Mr. Tango has spoken very eloquently, and I wish I could be as forgiving, tan perdonador. But I can't because this whole thing fucking sucks. And, well, you can imagine there, he gets contempt of court. And the movie is Tango and Cash. Awesome movie. Wow. I love that movie. Tango and Cash with Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. All right, folks, time to move on to Your Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, my amigos, you're joking. All right, we've got some boxing jokes. Well, hey, we looked at the word ring, cuadrilátero. Here we go. Why did the boxer bring a pencil to the fight? Why did the boxer bring a pencil to the fight? He wanted to draw first blood. No. He wanted to draw first blood. To draw blood is sacar sangre, okay? But to draw first blood es ser el primero que ataca. So, piénsalo, sacar sangre primero al otro, ¿no? So why did the boxer bring a pencil to the fight? Because he wanted to draw, dibujar, first blood. Okay, why did the boxer go to the bank? Well, he wanted to check his balance before the fight. No. Quería ver su equilibrio. Quería ver su saldo. Your balance en tu banco, en tu móvil. No, el balance. Makes sense, no? Lo que te queda. El balance, we say balance. You say saldo. I used to mix that word up with sueldo mucho. Saldo y sueldo. So you get it? Why did the boxer go to the bank? To check his balance before the fight. All right. It's time to move on to famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for me. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Let's
Let's go. Let's get right into it. Number one. Well, you can tell by the way he uses his walk. He's a woman's man. No time to talk. Music's loud. Women warm. He didn't sing that song, but he danced it and made it really, really popular in the movie Saturday Night Fever. He was also in Pulp Fiction, Face Off, and of course, how could we forget, as Danny Zuko in Grease, perhaps one of the most well-known actors of the last century. I'm not saying most talented, maybe, but definitely well-known. And he's done a little bit of everything throughout his career. He's also a pilot as well. All right, number two, this actor was born in 1919 today. He was in many movies. I remember him, the first time I remember him was in City Slickers with Billy Crystal, a movie about Billy Crystal being a city guy moving to the country. And he was also the bad guy in Tango and Cash. Wait, Tango and Cash? You mean the one yes, that's right. But the guy, I mean, throughout his career, he was in so many movies. And last but not least, I'm going to read what it says here. Japanese-American multimedia artist and musician. I don't like to be this kind of guy, the wife of, but John Lennon's wife. Like, that's why she's really, like, okay, if she was talented, I'd give her credit on her own. You know, like two actors. Well, she's talented, he's talented. They have their own careers, but I don't think anybody uses the word talented when they talk about this Japanese American celebrity. So again, I'm not one to say la mujer de tal, but yeah. John Lennon's wife. You guys should check out, there's a video of Chuck Berry, eso es el rock and rollero Chuck Berry, and John Lennon and this person, and they have to turn off her microphone. Busca Chuck Berry, esta persona y John Lennon performance, y turn off microphone, y vais a flipar. Like my cat, when my cat is meowing at night, it sounds better when he's going, yeah. It sounds better than what she was doing. And again, in the presence of greatness, Chuck Berry, John Lennon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Chris Valrol. Number one, John Travolta. Number two, Jack Palance. And number three, Yoko Ono. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Yoko Ono. And she says, I think that every artistic effort, music or art or films or, well, even a florist, hasta alguien, un florero, una floristería, right? A florist. Anybody who's participating in the peace industry, la industria de la paz, is making the world better. And anybody who's participating in the war industry, the buoyancy industry, Elena, I love it, in the war industry, is making the world worse. Here she is, the extremely talented, okay, I'm just kidding, Yoko Ono.
I think that every artistic effort, music or art or films or any of, well, even a florist, anybody who's participating in the peace industry is making the world better. Anybody who's participating in the war industry is making the world worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making the world better, or at least this 2-hour period. Thank you so much for being here today and every day, folks. Stay tuned because you can continue to learn with Ale on Speaking with Confidence. And we are going to say goodbye with a song that is definitely going to make you want to boogie, bailar. It's from Greece. It's, you know it. We go together like Rama-Lama, ding-a-ding-a-dong. Thank you so much, everybody. Ciao for now. A ding-a-ding-a-dong.